TA video. We're diving back into XPR. So I was speaking, I think in yesterday's video, saying that we was looking for a breakout of a minimum 10% on the daily time frame, coiling up in an ascending triangle. And I said at a minimum we're looking at a 10% pump, if not maybe a bit further extension towards 22%. Okay, now I'm going to dive back into that shortly because the market has been picking up over the past 24 hours and Proton has broken out of that pattern. But I wanted to get into something to consider here for Proton on the daily time frame. Okay, so you can see up here in this peak, okay, that we had in October 2021. The Proton has started to form this death cross, and ever since then, if you look at this red 55 EMA on the daily time frame, it's been resistance. Okay, you've had little overshoots from the 55, but you've always come back to resistance. Here you had an overshoot, but you came back. Okay, you met resistance, and continuously, anytime you've come up to the 55, here for example, again, you did have this nice pump up, but it came straight back down, and it was a fake out. Okay, so you got rejected again by the 55 and created another death cross. Right now, here, okay, rejected by the 55, and again, currently, you can see right here that we're actually attacking that 55. Okay, so it's how many times since we've been in a downtrend? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th time of approaching this 55 EMA here. Okay, this red 55. Now, I wanted to point out the dangers of this. The dangers, especially because, as I've said, the market over the past 24 hours has been pumping. Okay, and this is something I've just come to realize within the charts. But this is key resistance. Okay, we can break out of this right here, and still you can see that once you've had 2 fake outs, and both times you have started to roll back down. So if you can't break out of this 55 and hold it as support, then that's basically your confirmation that this breakout that we're going through right now, if it does come up and meet our technical target of 22%, which is around this sort of area here, this previous level of support, okay, that you're going to turn into resistance. If it does get there at that point, we need to be careful because we have to come back and hold the EMAs as support. Okay, because this is this, as I said, it's the 7th time we're approaching this red 55, and each time since October we've been meeting that as resistance. So that's something we need to consider. Also, I wanted to show you another point that's important in regards to this 55 here. Okay, so every time you've come up to the 55, okay, you can see, I'll show you in a second, every time you've come up to the 55 and retested it or had the fake out, okay, look at the stock RSI. Okay, so look at this circle right here. Okay, this was when one time we met the 55 back in January. The stock RSI was overbought. Okay, come to this point. If you look down to where the stock RSI is, the stock RSI was overbought. At this point in contact on the 3rd of April, the stock RSI was overbought. Okay, at this point of contact where we had the overshoot, the stock RSI was overbought. Okay, when we came up to the 55 here and got rejected, the stock RSI was overbought. And again, if you look at this point where we're reaching the 55, the stock RSI is overbought, if in fact it's at one of its highest points. Okay, so right now, this potentially could signal that we are going to, start to pull back here and look to retrace once we meet our target. So guys, do keep that in mind in regards to XPR here. We are running up to a very, you can see that we're forming some sort of bottom and we're trying to curl up here, but if we fail to break and hold above the EMAs here, okay, and drag these EMAs up, as you can see they're starting to come up, if we fail to do that, okay, I do expect resistance, especially in the near short term, because as I've said, in the stock RSI, you are a little bit overbought, okay, and just like all the other previous points of contact within this, on this 55 EMA, you got rejected. So we need to keep that into consideration moving forward. Okay, now that's not to say that we're bearish and we're going to start crashing and come completely down again. Okay, that will only happen if we start to lose our foundational support here, but we haven't done that yet. So at the moment we're trying to get this breakthrough. At one stage there will be a breakthrough. At one stage, whether it doesn't happen this time and again you start to get rejected here and come down, okay, at some stage I do believe there will be some sort of breakthrough for XPR here. Let me explain to you though why I think there might be some continuation here, why we might see some sort of fake out or some sort of overextended push within price. Now, leading up, okay, whenever XPR has looked to form a bottom, okay, and it started to come up through the charts and come up through these EMAs and hold them, it actually gets above the 20 and the 55 and has created a death cross. Okay, on 2 occasions. So a bull cross, forgive me, a bull cross. So on 2 occasions, this occasion here, we got above the 55 and created a bull cross. This occasion here, we got above the 55 and we created a bull cross. Okay, so what's to say that right now we can't come up here, create this bull cross, okay, and that the price is not going to overextend? I do believe that that is a potential, and we're going to look at those targets in a second, and it could be something that comes into play here, because each time you've come up, you've dragged the EMAs up, okay, but you failed to hold them. Again, you've come up, you've dragged the EMAs up, okay, you've dragged them up, but you failed to hold them. Okay, so we need to start dragging the EMAs up, but holding them, looking for continuation. Okay, drag these EMAs up, but hold them instead of coming down and losing them as support. Okay, so that's what we need to look at moving forward. The daily 20 and 55 EMA are very, very key at the moment. So we're gonna monitor that moving forward. But let's zoom in here. Okay, and look back at the patterns that we've been looking at. Okay, so we're gonna zoom into the past couple of weeks, the last few weeks, where I basically took off from yesterday's video. And you can see here, I was saying, okay, that potentially you've got XPR coiling up in this ascending triangle right here, okay, where you're getting higher lows. And I said it was a beautiful ascending triangle, of which it was. Okay, you're coiling up, you've broke this level of resistance, which puts us in a technical target, okay, from point of contact to point of contact down here on support. You can see the breaking out, it brings us back up, okay, to this previous area of support that we're looking to meet as resistance. So I've said in the previous video, you came down here, you formed a low, okay, you came up to the 55. At this point, you got rejected, you failed to hold support. Right now, you've come down and you're looking to coil up and retest that previous support as resistance, okay, and equally it ties up with the technical target breakout of this ascending triangle, okay, and that's where I was saying potentially we're in a, I think it was a 20% long or something like that. I'll get the exact target for us now, okay, but it's from there to there, and yeah, so you know, I said if you break out, you're looking at a 15%, but from the price it was at, I think yesterday was somewhere down here, and I was saying it's a 20% opportunity, and you can see that we're just shy of that. But for me, guys, what this looks like, okay, we could potentially melt up through this 55, meet that target, and at that point, it's whether we come down and hold support. Okay, this is going to be the crucial moment here for XPR. You've broken out, but currently you're running into the 55. If you do start to see the push through the 55, okay, you could potentially be coming up to that target, as I've said. Okay, so do get that in, because this is the target of an ascending triangle. A price of 0.002648. That's the technical target of this breakout. And equally, if you do something like that, you can see that you will start to drag these EMAs up, okay, and they will come up and potentially cross. And if you do meet that target, it's at that point, if XPR does start to pull back, okay, if it does start to pull back, we have to hold previous resistance and turn it into support, okay, i.e. this price here and these wicks. We have to turn them into support. Okay, but right now things are looking healthy. Okay, they aren't looking too bad. Okay, what you need to see today for any more confirmation to the upside, okay, is a close above this daily 55. Because as I've said, it's been resistance for many moons, and right now you've run into it, and you are overextended on the stock RSI. Okay, so it is signaling some sort of pullback, whether it's small and you start to get another bounce up before you come down, or whether you're going to start to roll back down again. Okay, because you could do something like this where you coil up, you hold this level of support, you get squeezed by this 55 as this 20 is coming up, and then you look for the break either to the upside, okay, or you're going to get thrown back into this pattern looking to come back down and hold ascending support on the ascending triangle you broke out of. Okay, because there's something called a throwback pattern, which is when you break out of a pattern like this, you break out here, okay, but you run into resistance, you come back. If you fail to hold the neckline that you broke out from, you get thrown back into the pattern that you previously was in before, which is this ascending triangle and this ascending level of support. So that's something that we need to keep our eyes on here. If we have met resistance right now, we can get rough estimated targets of where potentially Proton could be coming back to for support. Okay, so if this is our local high right now, for example, okay, and we are being rejected here and we're looking to retrace to this low, okay, for me, you can see that the key areas for support right now are these right here, okay, the 050 and the 0618, which are the golden ratios, okay, because what's happening is if this is the high, you're retracing back down to this low, which you pumped up from, okay, and you're going to start to come down and retest areas of support. So you've got these two areas of support right here that I'm looking for for XPR to hold if we do start to retrace, okay, and this is our local high. And at that point, if you do something like that, you can see that within price you'll be coiling up between the EMAs. They potentially could come up in some sort of squeeze, and you could be looking for your break either to further downside. Okay, if you start to come down and you lose this local low and this level of support right here, this is where it's very negative for XPR, and you're looking to retest this local low. But right now, again, as I said, you are holding this beautiful ascending level of support. You've basically broken out this level of resistance. You've attacked the 55. Right now, we need to see confirmation of a close above that. Okay, and equally, we need to see a close above these candle closes here, which is our previous high retracement. Now we're breaking out. Okay, so we need to close above those candles, and equally, it would be nice to see a close above the wick. Okay, so there's two areas that we need to see closes above today to get our continuation, and these are both the prices. Okay, guys, so if you start to see XPR tonight closing above this, okay, then it's very healthy. Okay, but you could potentially coil up and do something else before the price actually decides to move. Either, you know, if you do hold support and break out, or if you come down and lose support and start to retrace back down to these lows, as I've said, and you had those targets that I put in for you a minute ago on the 050 and the 0618. So yeah, things are looking dandy at the moment. Okay, you've got a low, you've got a high, you've got higher lows, and right now you've got a higher high. Okay, it's bullish structure. Even if you come back for support and hold that, you're looking for basically for continuation to form this bottom here and retrace, as I said, as a minimum back up to previous support and meet that as resistance, which is our previous ascending triangle breakout and the target we're technically in right now. Okay, guys, so that's a quick update for you today on XPR. I hope you enjoyed the content. Remember always to zoom out. Okay, that stock RSI and the daily time frame and the daily 55 as key resistance is very important to break, because as I said, you could see some sort of fake out here, okay, where you do run into that technical target of the ascending triangle. Okay, but at this point, if you come back and lose support of the previous resistance, okay, of the ascending triangle, then you're starting to basically create something called a reversal wave, where you could potentially be coming back down to test these lows. Okay, and this all could be a fake out. But right now, things are looking healthy. Okay, we'll monitor it moving forward. Okay, and we are looking for a potential target up to this previous support as resistance at 0.002648, I think it was. Yep. Okay, because you've got the technical target of the breakout. Things are looking good. As long as you can coil up, break through here, you're looking at this technical target, okay, and that target will be met moving forward. But nothing I say is financial advice. It doesn't have to happen. As I said, we could meet resistance here and pull back. But yeah, things are looking great at the moment, guys. So from Chartner TA, until tomorrow, take care and peace out.